Welcome to the 10 Acre Woods. My name's Mark, and we had a pretty busy day today. As you can see, it's sunny, it's beautiful. We had visitors during our open farm today, so it was a nice day to be outside with the animals, and I took a lot of pictures. To finish off the day, we did goat yoga out here in the yard with all of the goats and sheep and alpaca, kind of a farm yoga as opposed to a goat yoga. I got a really good photo. I was using my camera to do some slow motion, playing around with the slow motion, which I don't do enough of, but everything's better in slow motion. So as Tara was putting some of the kid goats on the backs of people for doing tabletop, I caught this really good shot. This is how we do our lawn care here on the 10 Acre Woods. Everybody is gone for the day, so it was decided that we needed to do a little bit of trimming. Here is Coco and one of her kids. I don't know where the other one went over here. This is Nemoid, as in Leonard Nimoy. So there is 3 of the boy goats. There is Spock, Nemoid, and another one that I can't recall the name, but they're all related to, or the names are associated with Star Trek. And he is a big Star Trek fan, and I believe he is, I think Tara said he's about 80 years old, and he is starting a little hobby farm for his grandkids. So he's got 3 of the boys. And here's Turbo. He's busy. See, it's essentially an all-you-can-eat buffet as soon as you get in here. So I may not get them looking up at me. Go, 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 go. Meadow is just on the other side of the fence. We will go over and see her and her mom, and of course Sheldon. And the alpacas. We have Shanzi. We have Paula. Hi, Paula. We have Marley. And we have Barry. No, he's not going to put his head up. And we even have some geese in here, so our Czech geese. Little Lucy. And Petunia. And Petunia's 2 kids. So here is a little mini Petunia, which we call Billie Jean. This here is actually Spock. So that's one of the boys that's going, along with Nemoid. One of Blackie's kids there. This is Blackie's... Oh, this is Blackie's other kid. This is Snow's. And this is Snow's, I think. I may have gotten those 2 mixed up. This one's easy. It's Blackie's kid. Now this one here is Snow's kid. I can tell because of the white ears. So there's them. Now we've noticed, okay, so you know that we had to put Patches down about a month ago now. So Patches and Snow are about the same age. And you can tell that Snow is possibly getting some arthritis. So this is how she eats now. She gets down on her knees. Now in this area anyway, because the grass is fairly soft. So she can get down, and I guess it's just easier. She finds it easier to do it this way rather than bending over and eating. So this is how she does her smorgasbord. Some geese in here plucking away. So these are our Czech geese. Bronwyn. And the sheep. So we have, who is this? This is Tinker, or Tinkerbell. And then we have Hannibal. And we have, is this Lambert? Yes, this is Lambert. Where is Turbo? Turbo must not be in here. Oh, Turbo was right. We saw Turbo over with Meadow. So there we go. There is the 10 Acre Woods Lawn Care Service. And if you look in the background here, you'll see Atlas. Atlas is a Bernese mountain dog, and he is scared of the animals. If you know the temperament of a Bernese, they are a big goof. Right, Atlas? you're just a big goof. Plus, when they were introduced to them was when they had their kid goats. So, of course, the mamas were really protective. Right, Atlas? Yeah. Well, come on down. Let's see what he does when he comes. Oh, he's not going to go far. Yeah, he's just going to go lie down over there. He's just going to go lie down there. We have an automatic waterer here. Same as we use in for the animals. So we've got it hooked up to a garden hose. You can buy these at a farm supply store. There we go. There's his drinking. And it just has a little float valve. Now you just have to clean it out every once in a while because if it's in the sun, which if you notice this one here is kind of under a deck, so it's sheltered. This is the north side of the deck, so the sun very rarely hits that area. If you have it in a high sun area, you'll get a lot of green growth in there fairly rapidly. So it's always good to keep it in the shade. Now I forgot to mention, you might have clicked on this video thinking it was about hay bales or straw bale gardens. We will get to that. Tara's just inside right now catching up on some emails and such, and then she's going to be going out and watering, so I figured I would do a walkthrough of the farm in the meantime, and then we'll follow up with the garden. So here is, I'm not sure where Petey is, but this is Piper. Oh, Piper. They like this spot. This is the area where we have put all of the debris, the straw from the barn. So we cleaned out the barn and we put it in this area. And of course the roosters get in here and they'll turn it, and the pigs love to lie in it, to nestle in it. So it works out really well. And then it'll turn into something like that pile that's over there. That is actually a couple years old, and it is a more dirt looking. So that's how that works. And then of course this area here I believe was from last year, so this is starting to decompose as well, and it's got a nice covering of straw on top of that. The pond, we still haven't gotten any fish, but Tara told me today, she said this week she is going to get fish. So I will likely be filming something and releasing it either during the week or next weekend. We have turned on this water here, which is the pump, or sorry, the wet well, the pump that's in the well that's underneath my lighthouse. So it is pumping up from underneath the pond and just filling it up. So I like to keep it topped up and put some fresh water in there. You can start to see some green growth happening there, so we want to make sure that we do get fish in there to kind of balance the ecosystem. We did put some dillweed, duckweed, that's it, not dillweed. We put some duckweed in, and you can see some right down here. Now it didn't last too long because of course the ducks ate it. So, but it is scattered kind of throughout. So we'll see how that goes. We do have some Canadian geese that came back in, so we've usually got most days we've got them either 1 or 2 pair that are in. So this pump will likely be shutting off soon because it is overflowing into our trench over there, which I like that to happen because it's a little muddy and the pigs love to, well, play in the mud. One of our Band of Bros members, one of our roosters. I believe we've got 29 roosters currently, all living, well, not always in harmony on the farm, but they have their little bro fights from time to time. But nobody is injured, and they have enough space. Now some people have asked, you know, how do you keep all these roosters together? Well, it's space. Of course, if you've got a large area where certain birds can run away, then they can run away and they won't get picked on. But if you have them in a small area, when they do rooster fights, of course, there's an example. You get 2 alpha roosters in a small area, they will fight, and if they can't get away, then there's bound to be some injuries there. Fernando! Look, he's in hunting mode. This is what Fernando looks like when he's not all poofed up, trying to impress people. He looks like a little unicorn. So that's his snood that is sticking up and exposing his beak. So now he is looking for all the little grains and getting his feed fix on. Now I'm wondering if Petey, no, Petey's not over here. So this area over here you can see there's water now in it. This is the trench that goes up to the front highway, and this water is now trickling in from the pond. So I can then shut that off, and I like to just keep it topped up. And then, yeah, Petey loves to. I've quite often seen Petey in here on the water's edge, getting all dirty. The rabbits. What are the rabbits doing? Well, it looks like they're running around and playing. So these are the female rabbits in here. Looks like they're just getting all excited for the night. Yeah, sleep all day and play all night. Is that how we do things? Hey? So we have come down substantially from last year. Last year we had about 20 some rabbits come in, and a lot of them were pregnant. We ended up having about 180 rabbits that we had gotten in, if you include the babies. And we're down to a handful. I think there's about 20, I would say 20 left. There's some males as well that are over in the back building just over there. So of course you want to make sure you keep the boys separate from the girls. And they've got all the little play structures here. These are actually compost bins, and they work really good as little shelters. You can unscrew the top, and then you can put hay right in the top, and then they can just go right underneath, and they're surrounded by hay, and they can eat and sleep and do their rabbit business. This here is the other side of the pen, and we have not let the animals in this area. You can see there's green starting to grow here. We do have a little, what we kind of nickname the duck door, for ducks, of course, and geese and smaller animals to come through. But of course Lucy fits through there, and so does the kids. And Lucy will just come in and she'll just munch all this up. So we want to try to establish some good growth in here. Of course, these are looks like some poplar trees that are coming up, but there's some grass growing in this area. So we wanted to kind of keep this off limits. Once it grows up quite a bit, then we'll maybe let Lucy in, or some of the other animals, to trim it down with a little bit of control so that they don't destroy it. And maybe one day we'll actually have some grass in here. The rabbits. So these are the boy rabbits in here. They're all hanging out by the feed trough. Hey, boys. So those are the boys. So we've got 5 of them in here. And I think we've still got, we might have 1 or 2 that are still outside. We had a few of them that were outside that we're collecting them and putting them in. And then, of course, this is the girls' area. All right, so we have the chicken run in here, which is currently closed. And that is Prince making his meowing sounds. We've closed the door in there. I mentioned this, I think, last video, just to keep the girls separated from the roosters, because, of course, these are roosters, and with no netting on top, we get all the roosters that end up in there, and then they start harassing the girls, and, well, we just can't have that. So we're likely going to put some netting across the top of here to keep the roosters out. Oh, Prince did have his tail up, and I figured I would catch him coming back. So there's Prince, our peacock, our Indian blue peacock. And then he's got 2 females, 2 peahens, which are over there. And the one on the left here just came out of the building here where the eggs are. So maybe she is sitting, we're not quite sure. I know inside the building, which they access through there, there are about 5 eggs on the ground. So maybe the other one is planning to nest on there. And we'll have some little pea chicks. So we do have some pigeons that are in the caged area, and then some that are out. They do have a door that is right there. Although I don't know if they really know how they got out. But some are in, some are out. People ask us, well, why do we have pigeons? Well, no real reason. There's one that's nesting up there, which we couldn't see last week. No real reason. We got some fancy pigeons years ago, and they're just really nice. They're nice sounding with the kind of dove sound. It's just nice to have them flying around the yard. It's so peaceful seeing all these pigeons kind of fly around, all multi-different colored. And it just adds a little bit to the farm. So it's kind of nice to see. Who do we have in here? Oh, look who we have here. This is one of the hi guys. Where's your buddy? Where's your buddy? If you don't know the story on the hi guys, there's two Muscovy Drake ducks, and they were raised a small family, a young family, and very friendly. It's extremely friendly. They'll come right up. You can go up and pet them. But with Muscovy ducks, or drakes anyway, they can, and pecans, we've had a couple pecans that were hand raised, they can be very friendly. And what they do is they come up and they nibble on you. Now, they were young kids. Come here, buddy. Here, come nibble my hand. But they're, he just doesn't want anything to do with me now. Okay, you just stay over there. They are, I guess you could say they're kind of, oh, hi Fernando. They're texture orientated. And they like to, I guess, sample different things. Well, the kids didn't like that too much because they can pinch slightly. And to children, it can be scary. So the hi guys had to come over here. They did have other names. But when she went out to feed them, she would just say, hi guys. So that's the story on the hi guys. Oh, there's Prince again. Prince is up on the perch, it looks like. Looks like he's perching for the night. Inside the building, let's go on in. Looks like some of the roosters are perching too. You guys going to bed? Yeah? Had enough of today? Okay, so inside we have the Sarama roosters. Now, yes, we have Atlas and Apollo. And I think Pegasus is around here too. But some sad news, Zeus. So he was the black and white one. He actually passed away of some unknown reason, so we're not quite sure. And these things do happen, we realize it. He was a nice little rooster. He was a lot more calmer than this little bad boy here. But you have to remember that when you have animals, and a lot of animals, you are going to have some that pass away. And you just have to kind of bear down and take it and remember them. And that's the important thing. I did talk about doing this up with painting. It's very dusty. It's an OSB board. And you can see on the ceiling here, it's a rough textured surface. So we want to, during the winter, I had thought about, okay, well, in the summer, let's go and we'll paint this. And we'll get a really good surface on it, a nice cleanable surface. Let's go one step further and let's put some murals on here. So this is what's happening with it. Next week, I think I'm going to pick up primer, and I'm going to prime everything above these boards. We don't want to put any paint on those boards. We want to leave them blank because we don't want the animals chewing on a painted surface. So we're going to stick to above the OSB, and we're going to prime that. We're going to prime right across the ceiling, and we're going to prime down here. Now we'll do it in stages, of course, so we can move the hens around and the pigeons and whatnot and get things organized. And then, of course, at the back, we're going to prime that area. And then once that's done, we're going to put a blue base paint right across the whole thing. I'm talking to a rep I know at Dulux Paint, so he's going to be looking at getting us a deal on that, so I'll see how he does with that. And then we're thinking, okay, what do we put on these walls? So we were going to get an artist, and she came in and gave us some numbers, and it can cost anywhere from $2,000 to $20,000 depending on the detail we want. So we said, okay, forget about that. We're just going to do it ourselves with projectors. So Tara has done quite a bit of work in the past by just taking a projector and projecting an image that she wants to do on the wall, and then going ahead and painting it. So that's what we're going to do. That's the update, but we will be keeping you updated as things progress. In the back here, we have the chicks that we hatched out, or some of the chicks. A lot of the other ones went, people were looking for chickens, for spring chickens. And here's the remaining spring chickens that we have here. So they're growing up and getting bigger, and Tara did put some more wood along the edge because of course she wants to match everything. And just in case we do put other animals in here, we want to make sure that they have a non-painted surface that is exposed for them. And also she did it in this area as well. So nice new boards going through there. And the whole idea is to have a scene where you're not inside the building. It feels like you're outside. And this is the pen. And then the idea with this here is maybe having a sunset and then maybe a field with large bales of hay. Something to that effect. So we're just having some ideas on what to do with this space. But I think it's going to look great once it's all done. Okay, moving up into the front area, we have little Meadow here. Hi, and she's been getting very friendly. So we go over and sit on a bench, and she'll come over and she'll get some cuddles. And so getting lots of hands-on. Now Mama, which is Willow, and here's Tiana. She just came out to tell me that Tara is out back at the hay garden, straw garden. I always get that mixed up. And we'll head out there right away. So that is Willow. She's still not quite hands-on. She's still very protective of her little one. And we just keep distance with her. And who's that I see poking over the rocks? Is that Sheldon? How you doing, buddy? You resting for the night? This is one of a favorite areas. They love to lay down in this dirt here during the summer, the sunny summer days, just because this is the south side of the building and there's lots of sun, so they can get the heat and they can get the cool, which I know a lot of dogs like to do that too. One of our old Westies did that. Where is Moira?
Is she in her house?
She must be in her house, because I don't want to miss any animals, because then I look in the comments and people say, oh, well, what about so-and-so? She's not in there.
No.
Huh. During yoga and all the visitors today, it looks like Moira came through and came into the main area. So we were looking around for her, Tiana and I, we're like, where is she? Oh, there she is, and she's gonna come right over. She's not gonna get too close though, because she's still a little skittish. But we're just concerned about her maybe getting picked on by some of the mama goats. And of course she is Sheldon's little buddy. So we'll round her up and we'll put her back in there before nightfall. Up at the front here, I'm looking for the boys, and I see a rowan duck. Rowan drake, I should say, and then I believe the harlequin duck. So that's the female beside him. There's two other ones, because there's four of them. I believe there's 3 females and the 1 male. We have guineas up here. So our tick patrol, they're on duty. Our only hen that is actually outside the building, and the reason for that is because well, she's a butch. She was taken over the hen house, put it that way. And when you have a bunch of chickens that are missing feathers and one that is not, you can kind of guess who the problem is. And it was this one. And it was funny because just a little while ago, this here is her rooster. Same breed, I believe Colombian Rock, unless it's a mix of some kind. And another rooster came along, and I thought it was just 2 roosters picking a fight, but it was her and another rooster. And guess who won? It was the hen. So she is quite the butch. Okay, so I don't see the boys. I do see a Muscovy duck. So here is one of the 2 females that we have here. So she's just having a little drink there. So I'm up front looking for the boys, and then I take a glance over into the back area, and I noticed I missed an animal. It was an animal that somebody asked for this past week, where is Shadow? Shadow must have been out back, because I now see her right here. Hi, Shadow. Is that your niece? That's passed out. We first, last year when Manya had a little one, we saw the little one beside her and we were like, oh no, we're so sorry. But no, she's just sleeping. So Shadow is doing, well, I don't even know what to say. She's doing excellent. She's doing tremendous. Whenever you're down like this, she'll come right up to you. She's doing very well. Now, is this because she is she's pregnant and she's due soon? Which, if we don't see anything within the next 2 weeks, then we're gonna say no. We don't want to be invasive with her. Ponies, you don't need to put them through that. We'll know. She had an episode about a week and a half ago where she was rolling around, which usually happens about 3 weeks before giving birth. Kind of an early sign of labor. What's with all the noise? So she is doing very well, and we'll just wait to see if there's something in that big belly of hers. Levi! Carl! Come here! Come on! So I figured instead of going and looking for them this time, I would let them come to me. So I stopped off at inside the barn on my way back and picked up some tasty morsels here. Come on, Carl! I see you coming. Where's Billy? Billy! Come on! Come and get it! Oh, here it comes. Here it comes. Okay. Things are starting to come alive in the bush now. And here's Levi coming down. Come here! Over here! Look! Yes! Throw some over there. Ugh. Woo! It's a little windy out. I have to separate it because of course you don't want any fighting, especially when there's food around. Food is a big instigator of fights. So everybody's got their own little pile. Oh, well, I guess Carl's pile is over there. But he's man enough, he can go get his own food. Although his son Billy has been pushing the envelope. So Billy, Bobby, Carl, and Levi. So that's it. I think I've got all of the animals. If I didn't, then I'm sure you're going to let me know down in the comments. Oh, did I not break that up enough for you? We feed the small bales because large bales can get dust inside them, and then of course they stick their nose in to get all the good stuff, and they breathe in all that dust and debris, which Hannibal, did I get Hannibal? Yeah, we saw Hannibal. He had what's called heaves when he first came in. He very rarely coughs now, where when he first came in, he coughed all the time. Quite often he was coughing. So there's the boys. Now I did go back and see Tara at the garden. She was watering, and she said, well, there's not really much light back here, and she has a few other things to do. So we are going to leave that until tomorrow. It's currently Saturday evening, and we'll leave it to Sunday evening. I'll be able to edit the first half of this, finish it off, and have it out to you Sunday night. So let's go to fast forward till tomorrow. And here we are the next day. Ooh, a little dizzy there. Tara is over here watering, and I believe she is watering her, what? Her potatoes. Potatoes. And garlic. So this is the straw bale garden. This is, so what we did was we put the straw bales out last fall, let them condition over the winter, and then this spring we are planting in it. So we put potatoes and garlic here, and then we did tomatoes and peas,
You basically just poke a hole and stick your plants in. We actually thought that the chipmunks got all my pea seeds because there was little tiny holes dug, but they have not. The pea seeds are growing. We did lose some of the tomatoes to frost the first night, but tomatoes are really hardy. As long as they're in the ground, they'll come back. And what's kind of funny is most of the time they come back stronger than what they were before, as long as they're not totally frost ridden. So this is tomatoes. The green tarp or blue fabric on either side of the straw bale is in case the temperature drops. If you get real close, you can see the carrots. And what we did was on the bare straw, you sprinkle your seeds and then just cover it with a very good soil. We have the soil donated. It's actually growing compost that we had donated.
So what are with the flowers?
The flowers are marigolds. They obviously got the frost as well. But they'll come back again. They're hardy. You'll see, if you look here, you can see all the new growth coming at the bottom. Down here. The frost got the top, but the new stuff will all come in and they'll grow. Gardening a lot of the time is, people want to put so much energy into doing it perfectly, but you know what? Trial and error. Throw it in, grow it. You're going to learn as you go. I kind of froze my hose in it.
Yeah, it's broken.
It gets me wetter than anything. This one, so that's carrots, that's tomatoes. This side we have, these are all onions. So these are the yellow onions on this side. Poke a hole, put them in, and then cover them with the soil. This is broccoli. First ones are Brussels sprouts. They look very similar. I had planted by seed and figured nothing was coming up. So I actually went and picked up some larger plants. But if you look here, I have one coming. So I actually planted seeds, and I guess it just takes longer. But just to give it some life, I went and picked up some bigger plants. Okay, so the straw bale garden was an idea because my back has taken a beating over the years. And this is really nice because I don't have to bend down to weed or do anything that wise. This is salad. So this is everything. This is lettuce, Swiss chard, a bunch of different types of lettuce. Down the center, we actually planted corn. So the little kids group that we do, they decided they wanted to put the corn down the lettuce. We'll see how it goes. It's going to get nice and tall. And then you just pick out and come get your lettuce salad when you want it. There are radishes in here. Anything that you can put in a salad is in this row. Only watering once a day. So every night we do our watering. Coming at you. Don't let me get you. This is rat-tail radishes. The cool thing about rat-tail radishes is they grow on a vine. So they're going to grow up and cover the pool deck. Same with the peas along the outer edge and peas all along this edge. I believe I put beets here. I said I was terrible at labeling. We'll see what comes up. Most of the plants that are in your garden and in your yard for that matter are all considered salad. All these dandelion down here, you can eat all of them. So check out what's growing just naturally in your yard too. And you'll be surprised at what you can eat from your yard. And so along this edge, you'll see mud on one side. We're going to do a lot of like cucumbers, peas, pickles, sweet peas. The best treat for the animals is veggies. So we are going to plant a lot, and we planted extra so that we could do a lot for them. Food-wise.
Are these tomatoes as well?
These are all tomatoes. These ones were protected. We'll put squash and pumpkins, and you can put those seeds in the sides, the tops. I started all those indoors so that all I have is the seed that has started. It'll probably have 2-3 leaves by the time I bring them out, and then I'll just poke a hole with my finger, put the seed in, push it in, and then fill the hole with soil or compost. And if it's in the side, you know what, the straw, as soon as it gets wet, is going to go right back. See this one here, this tomato may come back or may not. It actually snapped off right at the base, but with tomatoes, if you look at all the little, where's a good one? If you look at all the little fibers down here, those are all root hairs. So with a plant like this, you can actually plant this deep and it'll grow and it'll have better root system. You can actually lie them down and just with your soil, position the plant up, and then you have a longer root base. And you'll get better fruit. It'll be stronger in the ground. So don't think of those as, well, mold, or they're actually little root hairs. So the deeper you can get the tomatoes, the better the root system you're going to have. And this row here, this side of the straw bale garden, we're going to do as many pumpkins, squash, spaghetti squash, little gourds, anything that the animals can eat, play with, and the large seeds are their natural dewormer. This row here, again, we're going to do lots of squashes, lots of pumpkins. We really enjoy the pumpkin squash, the spaghetti squash. There's a pepper poking out there. This is the pepper row down this side. So I got marked some hot peppers, green peppers. These two bales were done by seed, and these ones were plants that I picked up. Well, grew, sorry, not planted inside, and now they've come out. The cool thing about the straw bale gardens, this little water that I'm doing every day, so routine, which is good, will keep the insides moist of the straw bale gardens. And then we'll test it. That's the end of what's planted so far. This week we will be planting all the ones from inside. The spaghetti squashes and pumpkins and cucumbers to have pickles, because we like pickles. The arches are all for the peas and stuff, just create some cool little tunnels. And we'll let the squashes and pumpkins grow out this side.
The squashes?
Squashes?
I think it's squash.
Squash. Well, squash is. And pumpkins grow out this side. If they happen to get to the animals will nibble them off and keep them short, making the fruit stay bigger.
Yeah. All right.
So we'll work together.
Do you want to end this video?
Oh, bye.
So that's it. The little farm update, the straw garden. I got it right that time. I call it the hay garden a lot of the times.
Bale garden.
And that's it. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you have some ideas for some future videos, what do you guys want to see? Leave it down below in the comments. I know it gets pretty active after I post a video. I love to see those comments down below. But if you want to see something in particular, let us know and we'll go from there.
And the straw bale.
And the straw bale.
And the straw bale garden is open to our petting farm that come, so that they can start gardening and get their hands in it when the seniors come and all that kind of stuff.
Perfect.
So, yeah.
Alrighty.
Goodbye, guys.
Well, until next time, have a good week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.